The air crackles with anticipation. The Stanley Cup Final is here, Florida Panthers versus Edmonton Oilers, a collision of styles and dreams. Two cities, two hockey cultures, and two passionate fan bases are on the edge of glory or heartbreak. For Florida, it's the payoff of years of gritty, disciplined team building. For Edmonton, it's a shot at restoring Canadian hockey pride, led by two of the game's brightest stars. Game 4 looms. One team is a win away from immortality, the other clings to hope. This is where heroes are made, and the line between triumph and defeat is razor thin. The stage is set for another unforgettable chapter in Stanley Cup history. The Stanley Cup Series opened with a bang, delivering two heart-stopping overtime games right in Florida. The atmosphere was electric, the tension palpable, as both teams battled fiercely for every inch of ice. These weren't just games, they were dramatic clashes that set the tone for what was to come. And both of those nail-biting contests were ultimately won by the Panthers, showcasing their resilience and ability to perform under immense pressure. The victories sent waves of excitement through the Panthers faithful, fueling their belief that this could finally be their year. These wins were largely thanks to clutch goals from Carter Verhaeghe, who proved to be a pivotal player in those crucial moments. His knack for finding the back of the net when it mattered most earned him the admiration of fans and the respect of his opponents. And let's not forget Sam Reinhart, whose timely goals also contributed significantly to the Panthers' early success. Reinhart's offensive prowess added another layer to Florida's attack, making them a formidable force to be reckoned with. But it wasn't just the offense that shone. Edmonton's high-powered offense found itself stifled by the brilliance of Sergei Bobrovsky in the Panthers' net. Bobrovsky's stellar goaltending performances frustrated the Oilers' star players, turning away shot after shot. And complementing Bobrovsky's efforts, Florida's defense played a suffocating game, effectively neutralizing the Oilers' biggest offensive threats. Their tight checking and relentless pressure made it incredibly difficult for Edmonton to generate scoring opportunities. With a 2-0 lead in hand, the series then shifted to Edmonton for Game 3, where the Oilers desperately hoped to turn the tide on home ice. The roar of the Edmonton crowd was deafening, a testament to their unwavering support. But despite the fervent energy of the home crowd, it simply wasn't enough to save the Oilers from another devastating defeat. The fans' hopes were dashed as the Panthers continued their dominant performance. The Panthers came out firing on all cylinders, dominating the game from the opening face-off, scoring early and often to silence the Edmonton faithful. Their offensive onslaught left the Oilers reeling and struggling to keep pace. Adding to Edmonton's woes, the Panthers' relentless forecheck created turnovers and scoring chances, leaving the Oilers struggling to break out of their own zone. The constant pressure wore down the Oilers' defense, leading to costly mistakes. To make matters worse for Edmonton, Florida's special teams were absolutely flawless, converting on the power play and shutting down the Oilers' man advantage opportunities. This special teams dominance further tilted the ice in Florida's favor. And as if their offense and special teams weren't enough, the Panthers' defense remained impenetrable, blocking shots, clearing rebounds, and making life miserable for the Oilers' forwards. They simply allowed nothing through. The final score of 5-1 told the story of the game, giving the Panthers a commanding and seemingly insurmountable 3-0 series lead. The Panthers were now just one win away from hoisting the Stanley Cup. Now, facing the daunting prospect of elimination, Edmonton finds themselves in a desperate situation, needing to win 4 consecutive games to keep their Stanley Cup dreams alive. The weight of the situation is heavy on their shoulders. The challenge ahead is immense, requiring nothing short of a miraculous comeback, a feat rarely seen in the annals of Stanley Cup history. The pressure is on, and every player on the Oilers roster must rise to the occasion. But standing in their way is a Panthers team that looks absolutely unbeatable, playing with confidence, determination, and a relentless pursuit of victory. They are a force to be reckoned with, and they are hungry for the ultimate prize. The Oilers and their loyal fans are left searching for answers, desperately trying to figure out how to overcome the Panthers' dominance and find a way back into the series. The mood in Edmonton is somber, filled with uncertainty and a glimmer of hope. Game 4 is the ultimate do-or-die scenario for Edmonton, their last chance to salvage their season and avoid a sweep at the hands of the Panthers. The stakes are incredibly high, and the atmosphere will be electric. Meanwhile, the Panthers stand on the brink of history, just one win away from capturing their first-ever Stanley Cup championship. The dream is within reach, and they are determined to seize the moment and etch their names in hockey lore. Game 3 was a masterclass in Panthers hockey. Florida's relentless forecheck forced turnovers and stifled Edmonton's transition game. The Panthers clogged the middle, denying McDavid and Draisaitl any room to create. Bobrovsky made key saves, crushing any Oilers' momentum. Florida's penalty kill shut down Edmonton's power play, while their own capitalized on chances. Every line contributed, wearing down the Oilers with physical, disciplined play. The Panthers executed their system to perfection, silencing the crowd and seizing control of the series. This was team hockey at its finest. Down 3-0. The situation is undeniably dire. The Edmonton Oilers find themselves staring into the abyss, a deficit that echoes through the history of the Stanley Cup Finals. The weight of expectation, the roar of the crowd, and the sting of defeat all converge on the shoulders of these players. The Oilers face a mountain few have ever climbed. It's a challenge that demands not only skill and strategy, but also an unwavering belief in themselves and each other. This isn't just about hockey. It's about resilience, about overcoming adversity, and about etching their names into the annals of sporting history. The climb is steep, the path is treacherous, but the summit, the Stanley Cup, remains the ultimate prize. Their comeback must start with a total reset, a complete and utter recalibration of their approach. Forget the past, learn from the mistakes, and refocus on the present. It's about stripping away the complexities and returning to the fundamentals of the game. A clean slate, a fresh perspective, and a renewed sense of purpose are essential for igniting the spark of a comeback. Finding offensive confidence is paramount. The Oilers' offensive firepower is undeniable, but it needs to be unleashed with precision and purpose. And breaking through Florida's defense, a formidable wall that has stifled their scoring opportunities. They need to find the seams, exploit the weaknesses, and create chaos in front of the net. It's about relentless pressure, smart puck movement, and a willingness to fight for every inch of ice. Coach Noblouch may need to shake up lines, injecting new energy and chemistry into the lineup. Perhaps splitting McDavid and Draisaitl, the dynamic duo, could create matchup nightmares for the Panthers. While they are a force together, separating them might force the Panthers to spread their defensive resources, opening up opportunities for other players to shine, to create new matchups and exploit vulnerabilities in Florida's defensive structure. Fresh legs and strategic deployment will be crucial in wearing down the opposition. Edmonton's defense must clean up mistakes, eliminating the costly turnovers and defensive lapses that have plagued them, and move the puck quickly, transitioning from defense to offense with speed and precision. Swift puck movement can disrupt Florida's defensive structure and create scoring chances. The Stars must lead the way, not just with their skill, but with their unwavering determination and leadership, fighting for every inch and every rebound, demonstrating the grit and tenacity required to overcome adversity. Second chances and relentless pursuit will be key to generating offense. Skinner needs to deliver his best performance yet, a performance that silences the critics and inspires confidence in his teammates, making the big saves that can swing momentum and shift the tide of the game. A timely save can be the catalyst for a comeback. If the Oilers can score early, it will inject life into their bench and energize the crowd, and frustrate Florida, disrupting their game plan and forcing them to play outside their comfort zone. They can plant a seed of doubt in the minds of the Panthers, making them question their invincibility. It's desperation time, a moment where every player must lay it all on the line. Every shift, every play matters, and the intensity must be palpable. There's no room for hesitation, no room for error. The season hangs by a thread, and the Oilers must summon every ounce of their skill, determination, and heart to keep it alive. This is their moment of truth. For Florida, the message is simple: don't change a thing. Their relentless forecheck physical play and defensive discipline have brought them to the brink of a championship. The Panthers must match Edmonton's desperation, knowing the final win is always the hardest. Barkov's shutdown defense on McDavid and Bobrovsky's steady goaltending remain crucial. Florida's depth and commitment to their system are their greatest strengths. If they stick to their identity, frustrate the Oilers' stars, and keep the pressure on, the cup is within reach. One more disciplined, relentless effort could make history. The sweep is in sight. Game 4 will hinge on the Stars. For Edmonton, McDavid and Draisaitl must break free from Florida's grip and ignite the offense. Secondary scorers like Hyman and Bouchard need to step up. On Florida's side, Barkov's two-way dominance and Bobrovsky's goaltending have been the backbone. Tkachuk's grit and timely goals give the Panthers their edge. The captains, McDavid and Barkov, set the tone for their teams. Bobrovsky could clinch the Conn Smythe with another stellar outing. The spotlight is brightest on those who can change the game in a single shift. Heroes will emerge. The series-defining duel is McDavid's explosive offense against Barkov's defensive mastery. McDavid's speed and creativity are legendary, but Barkov's positioning and anticipation have neutralized him. Barkov's assignment: shadow McDavid, frustrate him, and lead by example. Through 3 games, Barkov has won the battle, limiting McDavid's impact. For Edmonton to survive, McDavid must solve the Barkov puzzle, using his line mates, changing pace, and finding space. This matchup is the series in microcosm: unstoppable force versus immovable object. Whoever wins this battle in Game 4 likely wins the game. The captain's duel will decide the night. Game 4 is not just another game. It's a high-stakes chess match between coaches Noblouch and Maurice. Each move, each line change, each strategic adjustment will be magnified under the immense pressure. The coaches are meticulously analyzing every aspect of their opponent's play, searching for weaknesses to exploit and strengths to neutralize. This game demands not only physical prowess but also intellectual acuity. Edmonton must adjust. They can't afford to continue down the same path. They need to focus on using effective chip-and-chase entries to gain territory and wear down the Florida defense, establishing a relentless forecheck, pinning the Panthers in their own zone, and creating turnovers. And crucially, revamping their power play, which has been uncharacteristically stagnant. They need to find new ways to generate scoring chances with the man advantage. The Oilers need to create chaos in front of Bobrovsky, screening his vision and battling for rebounds. They need to make life as difficult as possible for the Panthers netminder, and capitalize on any Florida penalties, converting their power play opportunities into goals. Special teams will be a critical factor in this game. Florida's plan: stick to their identity, forecheck hard, using their size and physicality to wear down the Oilers' defense, and keep the Oilers to the outside, limiting their access to the high-danger scoring areas. The Panthers will double down on disciplined defense, maintaining their structure and minimizing breakdowns, blocking shots, sacrificing their bodies to prevent the Oilers from getting clean looks at the net, and managing the puck smartly, making safe passes and avoiding turnovers in their own zone. Both teams know the margin for error is gone. Every mistake will be magnified and could potentially cost them the game. Edmonton must take risks. They need to be more aggressive offensively and generate more scoring chances. Florida must stay composed, maintaining their focus and discipline even when facing adversity. The first goal could decide everything, setting the tone for the rest of the game and giving one team a significant psychological advantage. Tactical discipline and execution will determine who controls the game, dictating the pace and flow of play. The cup is within reach for Florida. They can almost taste victory. Edmonton must disrupt the script, rewriting the narrative and preventing the Panthers from hoisting the Stanley Cup on their home ice. They need to play with desperation and determination. Game 4 is more than a hockey game, it's a legacy-defining moment. For Florida, a win means their first Stanley Cup and a place in history for Barkov, Bobrovsky, and Tkachuk. For Edmonton, it's about pride, resilience, and refusing to be swept. A loss ends a remarkable run, a win sparks hope for a miracle comeback. The Stanley Cup Final is the ultimate test of skill and character. Every shift, every save, every goal is magnified. Will the Panthers complete their dream season, or will the Oilers fight back? The answer will be written on the ice. This is the pinnacle of hockey where legends are born.